This video was sponsored by Squarespace. The Canadian Throwdown is happening in just a couple weeks, but we gotta clear something up first. Remember this fail? This was a major design flaw. In this project, like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. I had totally failed at making a locking box in the last pot along, so I wanna make that right before we move on to the new series. But this time we're gonna do one better because I'm getting inspiration from the amazing ceramic artist Andrew Clark, and I'm going to try and make a locking box similar to the work that he does. Andrew is a freaking pro, and I am absolutely not, so I'm a little nervous. Thrown in ages, and I'm having so much fun right now. This part always makes me super nervous because you can't really screw it up. I mean, if you screw it up, you're fucked. You have to start over. Okay, so I've thrown all of my parts for the locking box. I have, like, this part here is gonna be the lid. And then this is gonna be the knob that will be attached to the lid. And then I don't know how he does this, Andrew, because I couldn't find anything on his Instagram like explaining how these pieces are connected. So I just threw a tube, and the tube is going to be like the axis that everything rotates on. This is what I'm gonna try. We'll see if it works. I'm just gonna let these dry now, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day, and these have had a chance to dry out a little bit. These are all fine. This is still quite wet, this pot right here. Something that I didn't catch on camera last night because I realized it right before bed and ran down to the studio is that I needed to roll out some slabs. So I rolled out a 1 centimeter slab and a 1/2 centimeter slab. I don't know exactly which thickness I'm going to need, so I just rolled out both. I'm hoping we can get to the mechanism today. Okay, so I have everything trimmed as I need it to be for done for now. I'm like quite pleased with the shape of this pot. It's reminding me a lot of like a classic honey jar, like Winnie the Pooh would have. So I'm thinking the first step is to get this lid to sit inside here. Now, as you can see, it's way too big right now, and I threw it intentionally too wide because this works best if there's a little notch cut in to the side of the jar so that the lid can only fit into the jar in one way. I think I'm just gonna cut the notch out. We've come to the end of my plan. Like, let me show you. Literally, this is all of the sketches I did. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna try and take it step by step. So let's just cut. cut out our lid to fit perfectly in there. It's a little on the loose end, but it's fine. This is obviously too long. That's the easy part. Just gonna make it as nice as I possibly can. Okay, next, in order to lock the box, like there needs to be something on the inside of the pot for it to catch on. The way that Andrew did it is there was like these little tabs that are on the inside of here. What I did wrong when I was throwing is I should have just made this flange like ridiculously long, and then I could cut out, like similar to what I did here, and then I could cut off the extra. But now, because I didn't do that, I actually have to add on more clay to make those tabs. But that is what it is. This was the wrong way to do this. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. But if you're going to do this, definitely throw your flange longer so you can just cut out the tabs and not have to add them. So Andrew Clark, he had actual tabs. I'm wondering if I can get away with just this straight line here instead of having it go back into the rest of the flange. I don't know if that's gonna mess up the mechanism, but I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and then we can see if it gets in the way and I need to cut it back. Because I just like how this looks better. I think that looks nice. Okay, I gotta run to a meeting, but that gives us a chance to let this firm up. So, be back in a minute. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you've never heard about Squarespace before, they're a website that you can go to create your very own professional looking website. I've personally been using Squarespace ever since I started my online business, and I'm still using them for my website today. There's a few things that I love about Squarespace, one of which is their online shop, where you can sell physical or digital products, just like I do with my printable pottery templates. Two, I really love their blog feature, where you can make some really nice looking blogs featuring text, photos, or video. I personally use the blog feature to create a space on my website for all of my video tutorials. And three, did you know that they also have an in-person POS system that's a point of sale system? You're not just limited to selling online, but you can also sell through your website IRL. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. Now I'm understanding why he cut these tabs, because this is the label thing. It's gonna sit right in here. It's gonna be level, theoretically, I think, level with the flange. It says open here and closed here. So like one thing here, one thing here. This can't move. It needs to have space here to turn. Just enough. So like, this needs to be cut. And this needs to be cut. Let's just do it. This will sit below. Should be attached somehow like that. Oy, this is such a mind fuck. I'm really confused. I'm like, I don't want to start attaching things together because I like am so unconfident in myself, but the only real way to test this is to start connecting things together. I think I'm just gonna very quickly and loosely attach all these together, see if it works, and then I could always take them apart again if I need to. This crazy thing here. So closed, open. Oh shit, that totally works. Let me just take a moment to tidy this up because I'm now confused about the next step. If you guys could see the inside of my brain right now though, you'd be afraid. I think this is the thing that I like most about Andrew Clark's work is, I mean, besides the fact that it's insane what he does, the way that he makes clay look like metal or like traditional mechanical shapes, and like he adds rivets to his mugs and corrugated iron looking like things, you know. I don't know, I've never seen that before. I think that it's just super creative, and just like the contrast of clay, which is this goopy organic material. It's really hard to get clay to do stuff like that, which is why he's just like such a pro. Guess I need to cut a hole in this. This is way more than I need. I probably only need about 1 centimeter of space here, but I think what I'm gonna start with is just trimming it back so I can feed it through, and then we can figure out the right height. As far as I understand, the knob is not actually going to be attached to the lid. It's like fed through the lid. I just hope it's not going to be like really rattly because of that. Okay, so this is getting exciting. This totally works. I mean, I'm like blindly turning it right now, but how cool. I don't know what to do for the hole. Like, I've got this smiley face stamp that would be kind of cool, but I don't have a frowny face. So I also kind of want to write nice try on it somewhere, but I don't know if I have room for that. Why don't I just like make my own smiley faces, or at least like the frowny face? Okay, now this is stuck. How do I open this? That's so cool. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry like this. Gonna let this boy dry upside down. I'm so pleased. Like, knock on fucking wood, like seriously, because how I've gotten this far, I do not know. But let's call it a day, and then tomorrow I'm gonna come back to add whatever details I wanna add. This is so freaking cool. Good morning. I am so happy with how this is looking. Everything is drying well. My turning lid here is functioning just fine. At the moment, I'm just trying to figure out what sort of surface design I want to add to this, because I could leave it like this, but I think it needs a little something. I could add underglazes. I've got these Amico underglazes I could add. And then I'm also thinking I could add like this black wash that Andrew Clark does. Or should I carve? stuff. Or I could even add glaze. Like, I can't glaze all the parts, but I could glaze, like, for example, the body and the knob. Okay, here's what I've got. I'm gonna go with carving, at least in the beginning. I might add some color. I've got my little Amico sample set here. I'm going to add a funny little message on top here. So this is just a sample. It's gonna look neater. It works sarcastically if you can't open it, and it works genuinely if you can. One thing that I am gonna steal from Andrew Clark is he's got these little marks that are made to look like rivets. It's not as perfect as his thing, but what I found that best replicates it is this little electrical conductor thing, and it makes this cool imprint. I think this is genuinely one of the coolest things I've ever made. This is just such a cool piece, and I'm really excited. So I'm still going to add the black wash. I need to do that after it's bisqued though. So I'm gonna bisque it now with the white, and that means I can go in with the black wash and then wipe it back without wiping back the white, because that will be bisqued into the clay. No cracks, we're good. Our plan today is to coat this with a Underglaze wash. So if I was inventing this project all by myself, I would probably use like an iron oxide, but this is what Andrew Clark used. I don't know if he uses Amico, but he uses a black Underglaze to give his pots this kind of like dirty look. And I think it also adds like a lot of dimension. So that's all we're gonna do. I just want this tone on tone kind of look from black to white and a little bit of tan in between, no colors. I think that will look really cool. And we're gonna make a wash. So a wash is just diluted color. And I'm gonna paint it on, and then I'm gonna use a sponge to remove it afterwards. I'm using like 3 of these little spatula things, and then I'm gonna add just a little bit of water. I'm gonna mix it up. Okay, added about 3 more scoops. And that's better, I think. I don't know, it's hard to say, but we're gonna do that. Okay, now I'm just going to remove the extra with a wet sponge. I'm happy with that. I really have no idea how it's gonna turn out, but I'm excited. By the way, do you guys wanna see something cool? These are the next template collection. We've got a coffee drip. We've got some salt and pepper shakers with the cutest little tray. This might be my favorite one. Citrus juicer, a little food storage jar, super cute. A sponge holder. I think this is going to be the first one that I launch. Little sponge holder. Cute, right? And then a butter dish. But the butter dish was a little bit tricky because butter comes in different shapes and sizes all over the world. So this is going to be the European size butter dish, which is a bit more square. And then I have the American size, which is longer. As far as I know, I'm gonna take one of these. I'm gonna visit my family in the US in February. I'm gonna take one of these along and measure it against their butter because I actually don't know for sure, but I'm gonna double check. So these are just the second prototypes. I might change still a little bit, but I'm getting really excited with how these are turning out. This is going to be the Kitchen Essentials collection. I love them. So my lockbox is ready to go. Because I've added a lot of water to this, I am going to let it dry out for a day before I put it into the kiln. You know, like if I was in a rush or, you know, this wasn't such a precious object, I might just risk it and put it straight into the kiln. Because the bisque is so porous, even though I did add a lot of water, there's a lot of opportunity for the water to escape during the final fire. Let's play it super, super safe and let this piece fully dry out for 24 hours before I put it into the kiln for the final fire. I'm really excited. It's like gonna be 2 more days before I can see this finished. But for you guys, you get to see it right now. I am so nervous. I'm very anxious to open this kiln right now. We're at 106. I'm gonna wait until it gets to 100. I had an inexplicable explosion the other day, so I'm hoping it's not gonna explode like that piece did. And the problem is I don't know why it exploded, and I was worried because it's so cold outside and I have to crack the window that there was like a gust of wind and too much cold air got into the kiln. I don't actually know why that piece exploded, so I'm worried it's gonna happen to this piece. But I can at least take off some of these guys. I think I'm gonna sneak a peek. Oh, it's not exploded. And I'm excited. Aesthetically, beautiful. Functionally, this is currently stuck and I don't know if I can get it unstuck. These little speckles in here, they're beautiful. That's iron, and sometimes they melt in a way that would be like glazy, making things stick. And or it could be the underglaze that is stickier than I anticipated. Oh, all right. All right, okay. Hello, is this not the coolest thing ever? And the sound is just, shall we do the moment of truth? Open. Closed. Open. Look how cool this is. This is genuinely the coolest thing I've ever made. Hello, like, design, 10 out of 10. I can only take a part of the credit for that because I did copy a lot of Andrew Clark's style, but look at this. The smiley face, 10 out of 10. The nice try, 10 out of 10. The functionality, 10 out of fucking 10. Like, I'm so inspired right now. This is the coolest thing I've ever made. Oh my God, okay. The only question left is, what am I gonna store in it? Is this like a cookie jar? I don't know, but I'm actually really shocked at myself. I truly thought this project was gonna be a fail. I did not anticipate this to be one of the coolest things I've ever made. That just goes to show how I think we all just underestimate ourselves. I think we all just see someone else's work and it looks like this magical thing that can only come from that artist, and that is unattainable to us mortals. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see the original video that I tried to make a lacking box and I failed, I'm going to link the whole playlist for my last throwdown challenges up here. Get ready because the next throwdown is going to start ASAP. I don't know if it's going to be the next video or the next video, but it is going to start in mid-February. Get ready. There's going to be a lot of cool challenges, and this makes me feel like they're possible. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.